The communications services landscape is changing, and that means service providers need to change their support systems and their processes. So I'm talking today with Rick Hamilton, Senior Vice President at Blue Planet, a division of Ciena, about these developments. So Rick, digital transformation and automation have been very big topics for service providers in our DSP summits during the past few years. What's different about these topics in the early months of 2021?
Well, I think, reality is a word that comes to mind. I mean, the need for digital transformation is really here. We're no longer talking about, hey, we need to do this in the future. It's a business imperative today. And I think it's driven by two key things. The first is customers of all these operators are absolutely demanding a different experience, a digital experience, and that's playing itself out somewhat through the pandemic. Amazon is delivering things, and we're spending a lot of time online. So that's sort of consumer demand, customer demand is one key issue. And of course, we're farther along in the evolution of the technology. So you've got things like 5G that are alive and well today. And for vendors like ourselves, automation technology has matured to a point where it can really deliver on the promises of this digital environment. And I think those two things are different than they have been in the past, or a bit more real today.
Now, you mentioned automation. How does that relate to digital transformation? And what kinds of problems does it solve for customers?
Yeah, I think, if you think about what does it really mean to give your customers a digital experience, I think there's a couple, sort of key concepts there. One is very agile and real time. You have to present a number of capabilities and services and products in real time. They have to change very frequently to keep customers interested. And when they order them, when they want them, they expect to get them in near real time. And so automation is a must. If you think about, we talked a little bit about technology before. If you think about sort of things like 5G and edge compute as an example, telco cloud, these are highly complex architectures and technologies that require us to really evolve into a state where automation plays a much bigger role. You can't deliver that real experience without a great deal of automation in the background. And I think it will be critical to how we all progress in this space in this year and in the years to come.
And when you're working with and talking to your customers, what are some of the key things they look for in an automation software solution?
Well, I think it starts at the top with they're all having to make some really big choices in terms of the partners they bring in, the technology that they bring in, and the ability for that technology to adapt with them over time. So again, this digital experience is constantly changing, and so you need to have technologies in play, automation technologies in play that adhere to certain standards. And you guys have talked about this a lot in the show this year, the implication that standards will have on the ability of all these different technologies to come together and interoperate in a way that serves customers. And they're going to have to protect their investment long term. So they need to know that the technologies they're deploying today will be with them, for the next 4 to 5 to 6 years and can grow and adapt with their businesses. So those are big changes. Our operators have been rightfully so, very methodical about how they've deployed technology. They've been very certain about those technologies. They've taken a lot of time to put those technologies into the market, particularly the support systems. And now the market is moving much faster. And so as they make selections around automation and infrastructure that they're deploying, they need to mitigate risk. They need to make sure that they have choices as they go forward, and they need to make sure they're protecting their investment long term. I think those are the three critical things they're focused on today.
And just recently, we've been hearing lots of news about how Blue Planet is working with the service providers, that many of whom are participating in our DSP Leaders World Forum. How is Blue Planet performing in the market? And have you got any recent news to share?
Yeah, I mean, we've had probably 12 months of pretty significant wins. Some of them have been talked about before. As an example, Dish here in the U.S. is launching a greenfield 5G environment for this market. Super exciting. They're going about it in a very different way, very automated, very focused on digital experience. And we've been dead in the middle of that transformation with them. So we're really excited about that. We have a long-standing partnership there in the Middle East with Etisalat, a company that really is sort of pushing the boundaries in terms of automation and how they're delivering services to their customers. And a recent win, which I don't think has been announced just yet, but it's publicly known, is a pretty strategic relationship that we have with British Telecom, who is another company that I think is doing a fantastic job transforming their operations, but also transforming what they're delivering in the market, and doing it in a very sophisticated, automated, and digital way. So those are kind of 3 or 4 recent examples. Our business has been growing. I think, primarily based on what I said earlier. There's a definite demand today. We definitely have some technologies that are proven in the market, and so we can start to see adoption much more broadly. And we're super excited about that for sure.
Well, there's no doubt as operators migrate to new platforms and next generation networks, automation is going to play a much bigger role in their day-to-day operations. So I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more about this in the very near future. Rick, great to talk to you today. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it.